What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Villarreal in La Liga. Of course, this is the first of two games for the rest of the season that are absolutely irrelevant. It's all about just partying and having a good time. The final home game of the season, hopefully our final match at the moment. Maybe will be a couple home games in August. We'll wait and see on that, but I'm hoping this will be the last game at the moment week as well. And of course, this will be the match where Barcelona will lift the La Liga title, officially confirming and cementing their domestic treble this season. Also going out there facing a pretty good team in Villarreal as well. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 7 p.m. local time, so a bit earlier than usual. We'll probably end the game around the time we actually usually start the game, but that is perfect time, of course, for celebrations afterwards. And this match will be taking place at the Luis Campos Stadium in Montjuic, which is the temporary home and hopefully not for long home of Barcelona as well. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed on the pitch. It'll be Jose Luis Muniera Montero, and the VR will be Javier Roja. Now, heading into this match, of course, it's quite irrelevant to discuss the table, our opponent, and stuff like that, because we've already won the league. Again, the expectation is that we will lift the trophy this evening, tomorrow night, in front of our fans as well. So there's really nothing to look forward to. We'll wait and see the attitude of the team. Villarreal, of course, will be giving Barcelona a guard of honor following the match. Whether we lose 5-0 or win 5-0, we will lift the trophy. Again, the players had the parade just yesterday. The celebrations were crazy. They were getting drunk. They were not eating well, of course. So we'll see how well the team comes in mentally and also physically as well, heading into this game after a lot of celebration recently and celebration to come in this game as well. But I'm not going to look into this game super seriously. Villarreal, of course, are a good team fighting for European spots. They beat us 5-3 at home last season. We beat them 5-1 at the beginning of the season back in September. So they're a good team. We're a good team, but we're on the beach. They're not quite on the beach. So they're still, of course, fighting for a few things, and we've of course fought for everything, and we've won everything except, of course, we've won everything in Spain, we'll put it that way. But an evening of just celebration and rejoice is expected. There'll probably be a captain's speech and a coach speech after the game as well, so expect that. Tune in for that, but not gonna look into this game too seriously. This is just about fitness and maybe hopefully seeing a few of the fringe players and stuff like that. But most importantly, the highlight of the day is going to be lifting the La Liga trophy. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke this afternoon at the Ciudad Deportiva Joan Gamper. Nothing really to report on, just talked about the celebrations going on recently, that he loved it, that the players, based on the 11 he will select, there's changes expected, but it will depend on how the players are up here, because a lot of them have been partying and stuff like that. He did, of course, talk about the parade yesterday, how much he enjoyed it. Talked about Christensen's fitness, how he's looking like he's reaching at the elite level. He really liked his performance against Espanyol. Talked about Villarreal, how good of a team they are, how this won't be an easy game. The job that Marcelino has done with them is remarkable. Talked about like his greatest accomplishment and greatest, what he thinks is the best moment of the season. He talked about the team chemistry, the team camaraderie, something that I'm very proud of. That's something that we want to build upon. Is there room for improvement? He said absolutely, we have to improve the defense going into next season. He of course talked about this post El Clasico as well, that the defense, we know the issues, just now about the training it and implementing it, but there's really been no time in between. Talked about the Montjuic as well, saying that he likes the stadium, but he is of course looking forward to moving to the Camp Nou next season, and he still does not know when that will be. Talking about the mood and the atmosphere in the dressing room as well coming into this game, saying that look, no matter what people say, the reality is that we're coming into this game as champions and we need to perform as champions. He did highlight a lot of the fact that he does want to go out there and win this game. He doesn't want to let this game go afloat and stuff like that. He wants to, of course, give 100%. Talk about how you really love the passion in this team. He thinks this team is going to be able to do and achieve absolutely huge things in the future. Also talked about fielding a potentially full La Masia 11 as well, which is in his mind. He mentions, which I think is very cool, but I think with Lewandowski going to be starting this game and the next game, it probably won't happen. But the reporter asked him if that's a possibility. He said yes, it's something that I think about actually all the time that he really wants to do at some point. So that could be potentially a nice feat to see. But again, the press conference mainly just talking about next season, nothing really on the game, to be honest. Next season and trophy celebrations, there hasn't really been too much on the actual game itself. You know, he was asked about some of the summer plans, but he said that we're going to talk about that later, so this is not the time to talk about it. So very, very, not a dull press conference, but very straightforward one where he discussed everything and gave the answers that you do expect the manager to give. Didn't really give us too many insights on lineup, on, you know, celebrations and stuff like that. But this really looks like a chilled back game where he does want a performance, he does want the team to go out there and get the results still. Then afterwards, of course, there will be, and he will also be joining in on the celebration. But that included Hansi Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Villarreal tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start for the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it'll be fairly straightforward to predict. I think a lot of people do want us to pick a fairly strong team to not only keep the point gap difference, but maybe even extend it against Real Madrid to end off maybe on a higher point gap than the 4 points that we're currently on. A lot of people are saying, who cares? Just play the kids, play the fringe players, play some of the players that are probably going to leave Barcelona in the summer as well. But I think that Flick will select this lineup on the screen right now, with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Eric Garcia, Kobarsi, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Pedri, De Jong, and Olmo, front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. First and foremost, I think 100% Ter Stegen will come in goal for the last 2 games of the season as the captain. I think Lewandowski, of course, will definitely start up front. He's still fighting for the Pichichi. The rest of the team, it's going to be hard to predict. I think Flick will maybe make a little bit of changes, 1 or 2, because the league's already won, giving some, you know, the players that are going to be leaving the club this summer their final appearances at home. Final appearances could be in the Barcelona shirt as well. But I think overall he will pick a fairly strong team. Of course, Araujo coming into this game with a knock from the Espanyol game. Downhill play. I can see Balde coming back as a starter at left back. In the midfield, I definitely could see Gavi or Fermin potentially starting as well. Front line, I probably see it as it is. But I can see maybe 1 or 2 changes from this team. I think the overall consensus, I think that mainly first Ter Stegen will start, and that overall I think he will go fairly strong in this game. End off this season at home on a high note, lifting the trophy after, you know, you lose kind of sucks. And that happened, of course, last time I was actually at the stadium where we lost 2-0 Sociedad, then we lifted the title. No one really cared, obviously, but it was just a bit, you know, bittersweet. So maybe winning the game would be nicer. So we'll see what Flick ends up actually picking and selecting. I think he'll go fairly strong, barring 1 or 2 changes. That's why I've selected this lineup on the screen right now. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. I have made a few changes from Flick's lineup selection, not just a few. I've rotated the whole day. I mean, I would just play whoever needs to play. It's not going to be that serious. I think these players as well will be a bit more hungry, a bit more, have a more fight in them. With this competition being their last home game, with it being an opportunity for them to maybe show and display stuff, put themselves on the market, put themselves an opportunity to stay maybe next season at the club as well. So I'd make, you know, 4 rotations, especially with the first team players probably a bit more on the celebration-esque, and rightfully so as well. But I think going with a wholly rotated squad to see the hunger and fight, see some freshness, see some, you know, players that we probably won't see next season. For example, maybe Pau Victor, Ansu, maybe Christensen, Hector Fort. You know, there's so many plethora of options there, but I would go basically for a change. I've kept Balde in because, you know, he's barely played. Of course, Lua, still hoping for a Pichichi, you know, start there. But I think this team is fully balanced. I'm very excited to see, especially this kind of a back line like this with players in the natural positions like Hector Fort playing on the right hand side, right center back with Christian with the right foot, Inigo left center back with the left foot as well. Midfield threes balanced as well. Gavi in the 8, Casado in the 6. Maybe with Pau Victor outright, that's maybe a bit imbalanced. You could maybe check out Pablo Torre out there. Could really find a place for Pablo Torre in this team, but general consensus is that I would go for rotation just to see some hunger and fight and some faces before the summer transfer window and the season ending. But this would be the lineup that I was looking for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you're to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. To Now for my score prediction, what do I believe the result will be in this match? I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think, again, Barcelona are going to be on the beach a little bit. I think Villarreal are a good team that are still fighting for European spots in La Liga. We are at home, so I'm hoping and / do not expect us to lose. We've only lost 2 games in 2025, and neither of those 2 games were in Spanish, domestic play. They were both in Europe, Dortmund and Inter. So we're done very well in Spain. We beat them the first time 5-1. They of course beat us in the stadium last season 5-3, scoring 5 goals past us. And of course, following that match, Xavi did announce his resignation. Maybe a little bit of revenge there would be nice to see. But I think that Barcelona will be on the beach a little bit. Everyone's probably focusing more so on the celebrations after the game, lifting the Liga title. Again, a lot of partying recently as well. So I think it'll be a bit challenging for Barcelona to win this game. I'm hoping we don't lose. I'm confident we won't lose. That's why I've gone with a bit of a high scoring draw as well in 2-2. We have Villarreal have a good firepower up front. We of course have the high line, which has been leaking goals. Unfortunately, recently we just kept our first clean sheet in God knows how long against Espanyol. So hopefully maybe we can continue that as well. But I'm gonna go with a draw as my score prediction and 2-2 being the actual score line. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score line will be. So that's my match preview for Barcelona versus Villarreal in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd of course make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly on those lineups. Firstly, would I pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. There will be no live watch along tomorrow. My match review will also probably come out pretty late, so enjoy the day. Do not expect anything from me until very late in the evening. I'm going to be out the majority of the day. I'll be celebrating, of course. I'll be watching the game 1,000,000,000%. Do not ever doubt that. But no live stream. Match review will be very, very later than it usually is. But I will see you guys some more for that match review. No live watch along. Take care and Forza Barca.